That's no different. Why is it happening like that? Where's my chat gone? I'm lost. I don't understand why that's doing that. I'm totally lost now. Why is there no chat? Has that changed? Sorry if you're there. I can't see anything. There it is. It's because I'm a Londoner and I love London town. Whoops. I'm getting messages. I'm trying to click something. Take a pew. Ah. Oh, already got a like. I didn't do that. Hello. Wow, 5 people already. That's quick. And yet I don't see anyone. Aha. Casper, the friendly ghost. How are you? It's good to read you and not see you. Not because it's good to not see you. It's just good to read you because I can't see you. I've realised what happened then. So I put made for kids and it wouldn't do live chat. I don't know why that happened, but that's how it goes. So that was the issue before. So as I was saying before, I so rudely interrupted myself that Ben is going to be going live. He's going to be talking about DB Cooper. Not sure if I'm DB Cooper fan, but I don't know. Might do. So hey, Larry, how are you? And the young lady. So yeah, not sure if I'm a DB Cooper fan, but I might pop in and say hi to Ben because it's been a while. It's been a while. I haven't seen him for a while. Wow, 7 people here already. So the election's over, supposedly, and I came to the conclusion that Donald Trump could be doing what Forrest was talking about. He was doing. He is about to get the kids off the gaming machines and have a healthier USA with the efforts of RFK Jr. And he's, with the help of Elon Musk, going to the moon maybe, and sorting out the money, the finances, probably getting $17 a square inch maybe. And, probably sending the kids to bed when somebody important is, on the other end of the line. So hopefully, things work out for the better with the new administration. And I have no reason to doubt that. I would, slight caution is, probably not too much gloating. Don't, he, Forrest, wants everyone to get along. And that's exactly what Donald Trump said. He wants the nation to heal. So pretty much everything that Forrest said in his Full of the Chase, Donald Trump is saying and doing now on a different scale. Maybe not a different scale, in a different way. Same thing, but in a slightly different way. And that may benefit, people in Full of the Chase and the people in there's treasure inside going forward. back to going forward again. So those people in the thrill of the chase that don't believe there's treasure inside has anything to do with Forrest Fenn, I find that difficult to understand. The thrill of the chase that we all know and love, or some people probably don't love, didn't have the ending that people wanted. Now, if you have any faith in the Maverick at all, you'll know that Forrest Fenn, Major Forrest Burke Fenn, would not leave the thrill of the chase in that state. There's just no way. And I talked the other day about free will. Don't make plans antagonistic to freedom, etc. Try to think of everything. So thinking of everything must take into account the people involved in his treasure hunt. What are the likely avenues that they would travel? And if I need to get somebody to a certain place, a certain point, a certain time, how do I go about that based on the many different types of people and the way that they all think differently? So probably, bore that in mind and thought, well, these are the many scenarios that could occur, but this is the road that I want travelled. So whilst all roads lead to Rome, you can get to Rome from different directions and they should lead you to the same place if you have a good map. So we all undertook the journey, every single one of us. And we undertook the journey without any duress. We decided that we wanted to go on this journey for whatever reason. I don't suppose the reason is relevant, but we can pretty much say that the reason was a chest in the Rocky Mountains, which was worth about $1 million. That's pretty much the reason why everybody, stepped into the chase and decided that Forrest Fenn was a great person. We loved him very much because he was doing this. And then it was found, and people didn't love him so much then because they said it was. I've changed it from Made for Kids on back, so it was a shit show. And I don't believe that was the case. I never did, never will, based on the information that Forrest Fenn gave us. Geoduck! Trump won, yes! Desperate for that. He should have won last time, but hey-ho. Hi, Glenn, how you doing? Hey, Greg. Nice to read you. Guests make appearance today, and hello all. Guests make appearance. Guests. Not sure what English that is, but it's good to have you here, Greg. INFJ, woohoo! Way back. Jason, who's Jason? I see Jason. I don't see Jason in here. I'm enjoying those little shorts that you do, by the way, Greg. It's different than the long intros that you used to do, but I'm enjoying them. Hi, Steve. Thank you for being here to say thank you for the show. So, Forrest wrote in the book, the minute the second hand, reached 8, time for bed. And that's because there was somebody important. And Donald Trump was hinting at somebody important. But I don't think he sent him to bed. And Donald Trump is using RFK Jr. to get the kids, into nature, make everybody healthy, etc., etc. Elon Musk is going, to the moon and other places, and probably working out $17 to a square inch, and potentially starting their own thrill of the chase. So come January 20th, inauguration, there may be a a slew of executive orders from the pen of Donald J. Trump in order to begin that thrill of the chase with those people. And from the outside looking in, I have to say that's a good thing. Honestly do. I nothing to do with me, it's not my country, but it is my planet, and I feared for the planet if it stayed the same. Really did. Really, really did. And that's not to say that, I would be gloating, Donald J. Trump, same as Forrest Fenn said, basically, can't we all just get along? He wants to heal the country. He wants to so that everybody, gets along. He's promised that he will look after everybody. He will do his best. He will sweat blood and tears to make America great again and look after everybody's rights and, privileges, etc., and just make, the country the same country that Forrest Fenn talked about when he talked about the flag. And I can only see that as a good thing. It can't be any worse. It just can't be any worse. Donald Trump is not the fascist or the Hitler or everything else that the fake news has made him out to be. And I would say that anything that was said about Donald J. Trump is not what people should focus on. What they should focus on is the fact that these people lied to the whole world, not just America. They lied to the whole world about Donald J. Trump and other things that were going on without batting an eyelid, knowing that they could get away with it. That's what people should focus on. So instead of focusing on the rhetoric that's been spouted, the fact that they dared to do it, just blatantly lie, openly lie, knowing that there's cameras and mobile phones and, it's there for the ages through history that they said and did these things. And there's the fact checking that you could, go to and say, when they said Donald Trump said this, find people on both sides. You can show the whole video and show that he never said that. When they said, he caused a riot at the Capitol, you can fact check it and go, no, he never said that. He never did that. But it didn't bother them. So those are the things that you should think about when they bring that up. It's not what was said. It's that they completely lied and didn't care that they were lying. Now, again, goes to the chase. Things are not what they seem. We're being told stuff and people believe it and take a path because of the information they've got. The difference between Major Forrest Burke Fenn and the fake news is Major Forrest Burke Fenn said, hold on a minute, words don't mean what you think they do. And nothing is as it seems. So basically telling you to bear it in mind, unlike the fake news, trying to pass something off that is fake as real. Forrest said, listen, here's some information, but the words don't mean what you think they do, and nothing is as it seems. So therefore, you should question, quite rightly question, what it is that's being said and what it is that's being done. And how does that affect the road that you travel? So most of my videos have tried to look at the chase and then look at, what's happening in the real world and, try to marry the two. Not marry the two. Try to compare the two. show the similarities maybe. Mario, wait till next week. Shh. Don't say I know something you don't know. Go on, say it. I know something. So it's good to have you anyway, Steve. I don't know if I said that. I said thanks for saying thanks for the show, but I didn't say it's probably good to have you here. So we are all, I'll say we are all, waiting. And we're waiting for Epunces, epic fun answers. Yeah, Epunces, epic fun answers. Because that's what we were promised. And I truly believe that is what we'll get. And, I believe the fat lady will sing. And I believe that there will be breaking news at some point. Not Breaking Bad, breaking news. And people will, if they don't already know, people will understand that this is so much bigger than, we could ever have imagined. But that initial challenge that we undertook to find this chest of treasure in the Rocky Mountains is, one grain of sand on the beach, one drop of water in the ocean compared to, everything that was going on in the thrill of the chase. And hopefully, the thrill of the chase doesn't end. And it is whatever you choose it to be, whatever you desire it to be, whatever you set as your goal. It doesn't always have to be now. Now that you know, hopefully how good a thrill of the chase can be, you could set whatever target you want and enjoy that thrill, that desire to achieve something, and benefit from whatever it is that you want to achieve. So, in the case of Forrest Fenn, it was a chest that was worth. No, the chest wasn't worth $1 million. What was in the chest was probably worth $1 million. And Forrest never put a price on it, and he said, if it gets to 10 million, I might go back and get it, get it myself. So those statements from Forrest were telling you that, what you think you're looking for is not what you're looking for, and what you think it's worth is not what it's worth. Because I've just told you that when it gets to 10 million, I might go back and get it myself, and there was no way it was ever going to be worth 10 million if it was just all those things that he said were in there. And then we have mildew tipped first. So he obviously wanted to meet someone, to know of someone, and did that. So something happened that needed to be addressed, or something was supposed to happen that needed to be addressed at that point in time. Not necessarily, the end of the chase, but something had to be recognised as taking place. Then we had the find, Jack Stoof. We had a chest that was confirmed to be the chest that was in the Thrill of the Chase, in the book, The Thrill of the Chase. And that's different than the chest that we were told from Forrest Fenn was the chest we were looking for. Again, nothing's as it seems. Words don't mean what you think they do. So you were told point blank that this is the chest that was in the book, The Thrill of the Chase. That's what you were told, and that's what went to auction. Whatever was in the book, The Thrill of the Chase, on the dust cover, etc., that was what went to auction. But the chest didn't. But what also went to auction was the olive jar. I don't remember that being in the chest. But that important olive jar, whilst people don't care about it, it holds the most important thing that we need to know. Who is the eccentric fool or crazy fool or whatever it is that Forrest said that hid this opulent cash? Because those hairs, should we want to know, would prove who it was. So forget everything that's in that chest. The most important thing that's in there is the proof of the person that did this. The actual proof. If we could find that olive jar and we could open it up and we could get the hairs and we could do a DNA, we may find out who the crazy fool was or the eccentric person or however Forrest Fenn phrased it. But it has to be important. So people say, oh, the olive jar is not important. Well, of course it is. If it has the hairs in, because that's the proof that we need that says who the real Forrest Fenn is. Wasn't that the whole point of this? Like, who is the real Forrest Fenn? Well, I hope nobody ever finds out. It's not who you are, it's who you can make them think you are. Which brings me to D.B. Cooper. And, the Burning Man and the Omega Man and all the other, I wish I could have lived to do the things that I was attributed to person. So Forrest tried to think of everything. He put the information out there for people to find and knew exactly which solve that they were going to come up with based on the type of person they were and the type of information they were given. So now Forrest would live to do the things he was attributed to. And I talked earlier on when I was doing the videos that in Dances with Wolves, the question was asked, why did this person have to go? And the answer was, well, they had to go because they knew you were coming. So that must mean that if Forrest went, then somebody else was going to arrive. That's an interesting thought. Just make sure I keep up with this. Trusted! Oh, you're not upset, are you, Trusted? Donald has his chance now. National Stop and ID is on its way. You guys understand he has to do it. If he's not his fault. What? National Stop and ID? No. You'd have been worse off with her. You'd have had no guns and you'd have had no need for ID for your elections and martial law. You'd have been run by the militia. Yeah, I think you're better off with Donald. I'm sorry, Trusted. I think you're better off. But you know what these people say, and I'm only saying on behalf of them, not because of me, because I don't live there. But Republicans say, if you don't like this country, leave. That's what they say. If you think this country's that bad, leave. Hey, Davey, how you doing? Alberti, hello. How are you doing? It is good to read you. You haven't done any videos for a while. That's, thrown me for a loop, to be fair. And Mr. Woody. See, I say those things because I make assumptions that, I shouldn't really do those things because I'm likely to get myself in trouble. Assuming that people are male and female based on the information that I see in front of me, and it's just a word. But how are you doing, my friend? Nearly said it again. MJ! How are you doing? There's quite a few good names in here already. And I'm not going to be long. I say that every time, and then I'll go forever. But I'm really not going to be long because I've heard that Ben's going to go live. And I never want to tread on anyone's toes if they're going live. I'd rather finish and let them do the video that they want to do. I thought I was subscribed to David Paisano's show, unless now that he's Jack Stoof, I have to subscribe to that because he's been live and I haven't had any notifications. And I'm wondering now that maybe it's because he's called it Jack Stoof and it's a different show, and maybe I need to subscribe again. So, hello to all the 18 people here and the 4 likes that I've already been given. Wow. It's been a good day. It's snowing. Oh no. No, I don't like the thought of that. And you're not what normally what happens over there comes over here and I don't want any snow. So MJ, keep it there. Put up a ask Donald, don't put the ball at the border. Put it where you are so the snow doesn't get past. So I have to leave because I like to use my freedom of speech. And I never said Kamala was better. I said they are both so. Yeah, I agree with you. That's the trouble with. Well, one of them has to be better, otherwise it's not worth voting. Um, but for me personally, in my own country, no, I don't vote because they literally are like Kamala and Biden. They run all our media. Not unlike you, you have a few safe havens. Our country is run by rich people, maybe even the king, and it's not a good place to be. And it's exactly the same as your country on a smaller scale. And we're paying our taxes the same as you do, and we're paying for refugees. They're not refugees. That was what it started as, and now they're just criminals. And we're still using our tax money or your tax money to pay for these people to have a better life than we have. Yeah, I know, like that. So yeah, no politician. The reason why I like Trump is he's not a politician. He doesn't think like a politician. He thinks like the average Joe. He's a billionaire who's taken on the world, it seems, which he doesn't have to. Doesn't have to. He can just go lie on a beach like Mr. Joe Biden. He doesn't have to do what he's doing, but he's doing it because if he doesn't do it, the world's screwed. And I've said the other day, possibly, that if Tulsi Gabbard, and RFK Jr. were the leaders of the Democrat Party, Donald Trump wouldn't run. He wouldn't need to run. He's running because the country's been screwed over. That's why he's running. He loves his country, he loves the world, and he doesn't want to see it go to shit. And that's why he runs. And if he was, willing, I'd tell him to come over here and run our country. Because, not that he would love our country, but because he will do whatever it takes to see that it succeeds. He's not doing this for himself. Doesn't need to do it for himself. So he's taken a bullet for the people of America. And at this point in time, he's asking that everybody gets together. Last time he didn't do it. I don't think he'll do it this time either. He didn't put Hillary in jail. I don't think he'll put these people in jail. He wants the country to heal. He wants everybody to get together and do the love thy neighbor stuff, and as it was before. I don't see that he's going to be this person that they think he's going to be. Go chasing after everybody. How's that going to heal the country? That is just leftist talk. That's not Donald Trump talk. He has the ability to do those things, but how does the country heal if he does it? He's not stupid. I don't think he is, anyway. I shall be shocked if he even tries to get one, well, maybe one or two, but deservedly so. But it won't be a witch hunt. Gia, that's great. What is great? I have over a foot of snow. Wow, that must be weird, walking on a foot made of snow. No, having a foot of snow is not great. The illegals are to replace the middle class. Yeah, they're just so's, or they were, so they would have another set of voters that would stop Republicans being able to vote, which is why they're killing Republicans off, which is why they want the abortion thing. It's like, oh, it's women's rights, women's body. Listen, they're killing babies after they're out of the woman's body. It's got nothing to do with the woman's body. They're killing the baby on the table once it's been born. And by killing it, I mean leaving it to die. That's got nothing to do with the woman. The baby is out of her body. If they were protecting women's bodies, they would get the baby out sooner rather than later. Their body, their choice. I don't want this baby. I want an abortion. So every child will be taken out of the babies, taken out of the woman as soon as possible, to allow the woman the freedom of her own body. So those things that they're saying don't make any sense at all. Apart from they just want to kill Republican babies and make sure that they're bringing a whole load of illegal immigrants. And when I say Republican babies, it's, unfortunately mainly black children. And more often than not, women want to get rid of, not all the time, they want to get rid of babies because they can't afford to bring them into the world. They don't want to bring them into the world. Or, there's been a bad experience. But I'm pretty certain that some of those women, if given a normal, healthy lifestyle with enough money to support them and their child, would probably keep the child. But anyway, I don't want to talk about those things. I'm not here for that. Uh-oh. If JCB opened the jar, how do we know hair wasn't replaced? See, we've talked about this. We don't. But that is the conundrum, isn't it, that we face. There's not much point in Forrest doing all this, having hair there to be proof of who did this, if it's not proof of who did this. So I'm not sure that the jar has been opened, but I agree with what you're saying, INFJ. If the jar has been opened, how do we know the hair wasn't replaced? But then, maybe, who is the real Forrest Fenn, and how do we prove that he was the person that did this thing? I think that's what it's about. Wrong jar! It's a pickle jar! Oh no, it's the wrong jar. Or if JCB even looked for hair. Yeah, I'm not saying I don't have your answers. Well, maybe. I'm just saying. There's a reason why Forrest did what he did. There is a reason why that was the case. And that hasn't happened yet. So if the chest has been found, and if there has to be proof of the person that hid it, that's right, proof of the person that hid it, then it's those hairs that we need to look to. And there's possibly information written on that paper that's so small that you need a magnifying glass to read it, even though somebody said, well, they could read it through the pickled olive jar. So one's called a pickle jar, one's called an olive jar. Is it a pickle jar because it's not the olive jar? There's always a reason why Forrest did what he did, said what he said. And everything that's done is planned for and calculated. And if nothing's what it seems, and you're being told that he had a pickle jar, then maybe he didn't even have the olive jar. So that may be yet to, surface. Uh-oh, we're getting to the good bit later on. Real change is coming. Yes, real change is coming. Or, well, real, I'll change that word change into something else, and that's coming. The arrests will start before Trump is back in office officially. Well, I'm under the impression that the wars will stop before he gets into office, so January 20th. I'm hopeful that Biden does the transfer, however that's called, the transfer of power. I'm hoping that they don't run the country into the ground and leave, a mess to be cleaned up. I hope they try to, for the sake of the country, to leave it in as good a position as possible. So, going forward, Joe Biden can say, look, I was the president that, so please tell him this, I was the president that left, our country in such a good place, and I was the president that helped in the healing of our country in regard to the Democrat and Republicans, all getting along and, talking over the garden fence, discussing politics, religion, transgenders, etc., 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 abortion, just discussing it, not fighting tooth and nail over it, just discussing it. It's two presidents asking that their supporters, just live together, just all get along, which is basically what Forrest said. Trump was groomed to be president. Using the show The Apprentice, he was marketed as a success, even though he was a failure time and time again. Well, I can only say what I see. I just go by the facts. Well, you know that by now. I go by what I see and I try and work it out. 4 years, Donald Trump was in power. The whole world was happy. The whole world was a better place. Obviously, there's going to be those, Trump derangement syndrome people and the oligarchs and the communists that want a different way of life. But most of the people around the world, peace, able to afford stuff. Yeah, it wasn't a bad place. And I don't even live in America, but I was better off because Trump was in the United States of America running the country. That's weird to say, but that's how it was. And we've all felt, worse off since Biden and Kamala was there. And if anyone was a threat to democracy, it's, they just installed her. Like, we don't even do that with our king. But you installed a president or, a candidate for president without going through the democratic process. A dictator, basically. Yeah, he goes under the name of Jack Stoof. My feet are cold. Oh, they must be worth it then. Illegals traditionally vote Republican, especially the Latinos vote Conservative. They shouldn't be voting at all, though. That's the whole point. Doesn't matter who they vote for. They shouldn't be voting for anyone. They shouldn't be having a say in who the president of the country is that they're in illegally. Which begs the question why you would want to have no ID when you vote. That's just crazy. Yeah, he had a bit of a holiday. Well, not a holiday, he was working, so he couldn't do, but he came back as Jack Stoof and then, hey, Tigger, how you doing? Israel will not stop their war crimes and Trump was brought off, so he can't make them stop. Not sure about war crimes, but there will be a judgment at some point in time, and we will have to accept the answer. It's as simple as that. Woody has retracted, and Davy B is making coffee and toast. Is the toast soggy? He's making coffee and toast. How does that work? Putting toast in your coffee. Actually, my mum used to do that. Dipped her toast in the coffee. Harris was promoting people fight. Yeah, so that's why they got Cheney there. Let's have a war, let's have a war, let's have a war. Let's make rich people richer. That's crazy. Oh, how do you know? Oh, you can see MJ there. I'm going to say, how did Tigger know MJ was here? But I see the name up above. So, at the end of the day, it should be that we can all just talk about whatever it is we prefer, like, choose, discuss it, debate it, and move on to another topic. Discuss it, debate it, move on to another topic. You don't, in the conversation, it's not required that you change somebody's mind. You don't have to force or make or twist someone's arm to believe what you believe. You just say, look, I believe this, and this is why I believe it. And they say, well, I don't believe that. I believe this, and this is why I believe it. and then you exhaust that topic, and then you go on to another topic. So, you know, I see videos where people are shouting and screaming about what it is that they believe, and it's like, that is the most definite way that nobody's going to listen to you. Once you start raising your voice, shouting and screaming, nothing's going to be heard. So, you know, the louder it is, the less likely it is going to be heard. And, you know, like Forrest says, it's what they whisper. You know, if somebody starts whispering, then you try harder to listen. If they're shouting, you try harder to ignore them. So the lower they speak, the more you try and hear what they're saying. Maybe because they have a secret, and you want to know what the secret is, so you listen. Or you want to tell a secret, and people want to hear the secret. So can't we all just get along? Can't we all just live? You know, I'm not a healthy person. I admit that, you know, I'm not one of these people that, you know, I could be an American. You know, I'm big enough that, you know. But the difference is, in your country, they are poisoning you, literally poisoning you to try and kill you, basically, with all the stuff that they put in the foods. Excuse me. Either to make you larger, bigger, or to make you medically ill. And there must be enough evidence to prove that, because around the world, the same cereals, etc., don't affect you the way that they affect you differently than the way they affect us, made by the same company. But our countries don't put in the same sort of stuff that you put in, for whatever reason. Now, I don't think that the stuff they put in makes the food taste any different or better. It might make it taste different. I think it makes it taste better. But it does, you know, have an effect on people. So Donald Trump is basically doing what Forrest was talking about in the Thrill of the Chase. Asking everyone to get on, trying to get everybody fitter and healthier and, you know, get off the gaming machines and stuff. What are the other things I can't remember. But it's like, that can't be a bad thing, surely. Like, we were happy when Forrest was talking about doing it, and now we have a politician talking about doing it, and, you know, people are up in arms, saying he's trying to take away people's rights. But to me, it seems like he's giving people rights. You know, oh, he wants to ban abortion. No, he never said nothing about banning abortion. He said he was going to put it back to the states, let them choose. Like, where you live, you choose in your own area where you live, you know, the process that you think the state that you live should take, or the stance that you think they should take on abortion. Like in Florida now, they've just said, no, we don't want to legalize weed, marijuana, because the places that do legalize it, they're just, you know, like zombies, because they've legalized weed, and most of the people just, you know, have got no spirit left now. They're all too mellow. So Florida says, no, we don't want it. Now, obviously, there are those people that want, you know, smoke weed, and there's those people that don't. But it wasn't one person in the White House saying, right, that's it, we're going to legalize it, or that's it, we're not going to legalize it. It was, you know, the place that you live. You get to vote on it and choose, and job done. The Avengers are coming, the Avengers are coming. Yes, it's all good. Yeah, we have fluoride in ours. It's just, you know, some people put more in for whatever reason, I don't know. But you have fluoride in the toothpaste, or used to. The Avengers are coming. Too late, fluoride is in all water products, and it's very difficult to remove from the water supply. Yeah, like I say, it used to be in toothpaste for you to brush your teeth, and it's like, well, why are you adamant that we need to have fluoride in this? With cell phones too. Hello, Angel Bell 6, Angel Bell 6. That's a new name. I don't know that name. Nice to see you here. With cell phones too. RFK Jr. will help get us back on track health-wise. Yes, Like I don't see anything wrong with what Donald Trump is doing. He's got Elon Musk doing it. I know people don't like him. But it's not about liking them. It's about, can they put these things into practice, and will it make us more successful as a company, as a country? It's like, yes, of course it will. Will it make you healthier? Yes, of course it will. Will it have the desired effect? Yes, of course it will. Now, the more you fight it, the harder it's going to be. That's not saying that you have to, like, he's not going around saying, I'm going to make you take this injection, and if you don't take it, you're fired. Like, he's not doing that, but that's what they did. And then they say, oh, we're off. It's all about your rights. No, if it was about your rights, they wouldn't have made you take an injection and threatened you with getting fired because you didn't. That's just worse than hypocritical. To make money with big pharma. Well, I think he's trying to stop the money making. That's the whole point of it, is to tell, big tech, big pharma, big this, big that, the media, like, enough's enough. In simplest terms, the simplest terms, Donald Trump said, look, it's your country. You tell me what you want, and we'll see that we get it done. That's it. He's not a politician. He doesn't want to run the country to say it's his country. He says, I'll run the country. You tell me what you want. And that's what he did. Now, obviously, not everyone's going to agree. The majority want what Donald Trump said is best for the country. The majority, that's how it works. So he's going to try and look after everyone, but he obviously won't look after everybody, and everybody won't be happy. But the majority will be. That's the best you can do. That's how I see it anyway. Fluoride is and has been put in toothpaste for a very long time. Yes, I don't see why. If it's that bad for you, like if you shouldn't have it, then why are they still using it? The biggest journey starts with a single footstep. That's the whole point. But he's not just going to clean house. So you're 37 trillion in debt, or whatever it is, 35. He's saying, look, you're spending too much money. There's no need to have all these people here. And he did it with his own business. Like, there's too many people. I'm paying money for nothing. He's going to try and get the deficit down by making the government offices leaner. So not asking people to do more work, but those people that aren't working, you don't need it. So whilst that will create unemployment, which they'll have to, make allowances for and get more jobs, which they will do when the car industries and the drilling for oil and all the fracking stuff, whatever. So those jobs will come up, but they need to find the jobs while they're reducing the jobs, if you see what I mean. So don't increase the unemployment, create the jobs in order that those people that are unemployed can then do, move into a different job. Well, as far as I can see from the outside looking in, and I have no bias, I don't, care blue, red, or whatever, but most of the blue states are running into slums by the look of it. Like, compared to some of the Republican-run states, it's like they really don't care. They really don't care how they run the state. Weed made all the kids stupid in Colorado. Yeah, that's what Florida went. Nah, not having that. No, we're not going to go down that road. And again, it's for the individual state, it's up to them. So it's up to the wiser, more mature people to be wiser and more mature. Whilst you might like to have a smoking weed and blah blah blah, to make it legal is not good for your state. I don't smoke, but I understand that it does. I understand the medicinal side of it. I understand that people want to smoke for medicinal purposes, but because it's legal, people smoke it not for medicinal purposes. Think Twitter at a government scale. Yes, the whole point of that, that's the best thing that's happened to the world, let alone America. The fact that it's a platform that you got to take the good with the bad that's on there. But the fact that you have free speech, that wouldn't have happened if Kamala got in. You'd have lost your free speech. There wouldn't be YouTube like this. You wouldn't have your guns, and it wouldn't be long before the military moved in and no police. Job done. Different country. No, there'd be no democracy and no republic. There'd just be socialism, and that's politely putting it. But not just there. Like I say it like it's only happening in America. It's happening here. This country's worse than your country. But if I was talking about the people in this country, you wouldn't know who I was talking about. So there's no point. But this country's worse than yours, trust me. And our politicians are worse than yours, trust me. And I'm not even talking about a politician when I talk about Donald Trump. I'm talking about a businessman who wants to run the country. That's it. He's not a politician. If he was a politician, he'd have been bought by now, and he wouldn't have been shot at. It's that simple. He has his own morals. He doesn't, follow the politician rule book. A bit like Forrest, he makes his own rules. And it's those people that Forrest wrote about in the book, those fat cats, the cream. Those are the people that Forrest didn't like. Or, that's the impression I got. He's planning on giving ousted folks 2 years severance. Yes, and so it should. So they were told to leave because they didn't want to take a jab, and yet they're saying it's, your body, your right. Well, why are you making people take COVID jabs then? Why are you making them take injections? Why are you saying you can't go into a shop if you don't have them and stuff like that? It's bull. They just say what they want to say and hope that people, don't think too much. Don't put it in anymore, trusted. Billions of cream, Davy. Hitler put fluoride in concentration camp water supply to influence the presidents. Are you seeing the similarities yet? Yes, it started probably with the Democrats. And then everybody just joined on and didn't bother taking it out, which is what I've just said. Why are you still doing it if it's supposed to be bad? Why is everybody still allowing it? But you're having a different person in charge who's employing a different person to stop these bad things. His name is RFK Jr., which is what I said about if he was in the Democrat Party, Tulsi Gabbard was in the Democrat Party, and they were the two nominees, the two elected people, Donald Trump would not run for president. He wouldn't need to, because they would look after the country, and that's what he's bothered about. They should all go down for insider trading. That's the whole point of, these Senate people, House, whatever, they know what's happening within the business world because they have to discuss it, and then they go out and buy stocks and shares. It should be illegal. They shouldn't do that. They get first-hand information. I don't mind them having stocks and shares if they only do it when it becomes available to the public, not before it becomes available to the public. Another country. Nope, kid trading. People money was stolen, given away, 100%. I hope he put justice back into the judicial system. It's all about taking your money. So he has to, I suppose, in a way, get the money back that's been given to Ukraine, Lebanon, other places I can't remember. Like, there's no need to keep giving that money. There's no need to keep giving that money. If there's no war, there's no need to keep giving it. So they put people in your country in prison for speaking freely. Yes. Our country's worse. That's exactly what I'm saying. But what they're trying to do in your country is first take away the right to speak, freedom of speech, and take away your guns so then they can put the military and the police, so they can put the military in your country. Well, we don't have the guns. So they're already just taking our freedom of speech because they don't have to take our guns off us. And then they'll try and, defund the police, etc. And it will be the same. But Kamala's already given the military the right to shoot on their own people. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy. And yet people vote it in. And I'm thinking, are you serious? Just, yeah. And for not saying that much, to be fair. But, that's how Bannon in your country ended up in jail. You say the wrong things and people in power don't want to hear it and don't want others to hear it. So they put you in prison. But they made a mistake there because they've made him more powerful now. So now that Steve Bannon's come out, he's worse than he was before he went in. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that in a good way. He's a stronger person. Clean house shines bright. Sparkles, Mr. Sheen. Let the firing begin. Don't say that, Geoduck, because Donald Trump got accused of saying that Liz Cheney should be put in front of a firing squad. He never said that at all. Never said that at all. He said, listen, if she was stuck in front of those rifles, she'd think twice about going to war. That's what he said, not, she needs to be put in front of a firing squad. Totally different. Totally different. Hey, Jeff, how's it going? Hey, Money. Good to see you. Read you. So, is Halliburton going to process and house the illegals to prep for people? Yeah, that's going to be a job and a half, that is, Trusted. Well, you can have them roaming the streets and killing people, or you can take them out. And people say, well, yeah, but Americans kill people. Yeah, but they already live in the country. They're already there. You're importing people in to kill people. They don't need to be there. They don't need to be there. So really get them out. And if they're hard-working, decent citizens, guess what? Donald Trump will have them vetted and brought back in. That seems the right thing to do to me. Take them all out, go through the right process, bring them back in. I don't see anything wrong with that. You're taking the criminals out and you're bringing in good people. Same people, maybe. Same people. If they go through the right process, same people, maybe. Not everybody's a criminal because they're illegal, so they're a criminal. Once they set foot on the land, they're a criminal. There's just a different class of criminal. Now, if you're a decent person, you won't mind leaving the country and coming back and doing it the right way. Well, you shouldn't do. Free Tigger! Rats always flee a sinking ship. Well, I think, Donald Trump should give them the option, leave, or wait for us to come and find you. But if we find you, the military will be assisting with the arrests. Well, even that, this DEI, it needs to stop. It really does. And it's not just America. Remember, I'm saying for everyone around the world, it needs to stop. People are going to be killed because those that you put in a job can't do the job. They're not as efficient as those that are qualified to do the job. And if you start putting, I think I was talking today, if you start putting people in the job because they're female or black or transgendered or whatever, rather than because they do the job, you're going to have surgeons that can't really do the job. You're going to have nurses that can't do the job. They're only in there because they're a female, because they're black, or because they're white, or because they're whatever. And that's just stupid. You're going to have those people in the army that can't really do it. Then, because they can't do it, they're going to say, okay, instead of running 3 miles, run 2 miles. Instead of doing 50 press-ups, do 20 press-ups. But when you're in the war zone, those people on the other side aren't going to go, well, you're a woman, I'll give you a head start. Or you're a skinny little man, you can't do it, I'll give you a head start. Or you're a skinny little woman, you can't do it, head start. Ain't going to happen. Ain't going to happen. You cannot change the standards for your survival. Either you're good enough to survive with those standards, or you're not. That's it. You're good enough to be a mechanic, or you're not. You're good enough to be a nurse, or you're not. You're good enough to be a surgeon, or you're not. You're good enough to be a footballer, or you're not. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. No men in women's sports. What's the point of having different sports? Let's just have one lot of football, everybody plays. That's just pathetic. But that's what they want. They want no man, no woman, all one. We're just one type of human. That's it. There's no male, there's no female. That's just crazy. Crazy, crazy. Anyway, stop bringing me to politics. This is Forrest Fenn and John Collins Black. One of Trump's first orders was related to the firing squads. I hope you mean the firing squad as in like people getting sacked. What's up? Hi Nikki, how you doing? It's all good. It's all good in our world. Things are going in the right direction. Hey, hey. 500,000 sealed indictments ready to go. Ooh, 500,000. You haven't got enough room to put all them people, have you? Prosecution, USA, 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 USA first. The rest will fall fast. Like a pack of cards. I think some of them were already believing. You know, some of the celebrities already left anyway because of what happened. But I think now that Donald Trump has got in and knows the writing's on the wall, some of them will be gone. Out of the country, into another one, seeking asylum. Then they know what it feels like now to seek asylum. It's like we were told that, you know, these people come into the country because they're asylum seekers and now they're just criminals. And it's like, you don't even tell us that they're just criminals. You still tell us that they're still asylum seekers. And they're not. And we're paying tax to. So we're the prison now, and you're the prison. America's a prison to house these criminals. We're a prison now to house these criminals that come over. They're not asylum seekers, they're criminals. And our country is the prison that they live in. And instead of putting them in a jail cell, we put them in a nice, posh hotel. What? They come out of jail and they live in a better life than me, and I'm paying for them to live the better life than me. Oh, okay, that's fair. That's crazy. Military tribunals. Can they handle the truth? We are about to find out. Oh, those POWs, can they make shoes out of tyres? Rules are rules. That's a bunch of jail space needed. But Guantanamo has sharks. Feed them to the sharks. That's a bad thing to think. So me and Dave were talking about it. It's like, no, I wouldn't put you in the jails. I wouldn't. Get out of the country. Because if I was president, I'm not telling Donald Trump what to do or anything, or any president, or anyone around the world. But if I was in charge of a country, you wouldn't stay in my country. I'm not using my people's taxpayers' money to feed and house you in a jail. No way. No. I'm not paying for you to stay in my country. As the person who runs the country, if you're not supposed to be here, out of the country. Out. And then, because those people in those countries decided to send their criminals to my country, I would empty my jails and send them to their country and see how they like it. Say, listen, instead of keeping you in the prison, would you rather us take you to, Venezuela or somewhere and go live over there? Or Mexico or wherever, Congo. Rather than live in prison, do you want to go and live somewhere else? We'll fly you over. So we don't have to pay for you to be in our prisons. Empty our prisons, empty our mental asylums, so it doesn't cost us. Happy days. That's what I'd do. And then my taxpayers wouldn't have to pay so much tax because there'd be nobody to look after. That's how I see it. Can I go serve the mayor indictment? Oh no! I didn't think I was going to get indicted. And that word, indicted. Yeah, inducted, whatever. No, not trusted. Anybody but trusted. He's got a cat of nine tails. He won't just give me the indictment. He'll whip me too. He knows all about it. He's older than Methuselah. He was on them boats. Row. Row. Faster. Move them alls. I don't want to be indicted. If that's such a word. Is it indicted? Yeah, it must be. Happy days. So, what was I talking about? I've wrote some things down here just in case. I think we've talked about Forrest said, if I had another treasure or another chest, another treasure, I'll put it in the Appalachians. I think he said that. I wonder how that goes now because of what happened with the hurricane. That would be interesting. And he said, warm is comfortable, but he also said contentment. How does that work? Because he said, like, you could just shifty over a bit and it's warm, and you go a little bit too far and it's cold. That's not good. So he also said, I'm just reading off a few things here that I put down, that he had 5 keys. And if we only found the chests, it would change the history in the Southwest. And we worked out like how many sheep. So how many sheep? I can't remember all the things that he said, but we could work out how they did these things. I think that's it. I think I've said everything. I think I've said about no gloating. You know, this is like an important time now between now and January. Like I saw the View, and it's like they just don't give up. They can't help themselves. It's like, oh well, at least we admit we lost, blah blah blah. And then they go off on a rant, and it's like, look, just try and go on, give him a chance. Had 4 years before, you're still around to talk about it. He hasn't put you in jail, hasn't done all those things that you thought he was going to do last time. You're still spouting a narrative that's untrue. It's like, I don't get why they're not in jail. I can remember a time when that word slander meant that you were sued. Like if you said bad things about somebody, they sued you, and then you either ended up paying a big amount of money or you ended up in prison, depending on how bad the offence is. And it's like the amount of stuff they've said that could affect his business, that got him shot at, and he still doesn't take anybody to court. It's like, that's crazy. Like if it was me, I mean, I wouldn't do it anyway. Like if I was a billionaire and I got shot at because I want to try and save the country and the people that I love and the country that I love, and I got shot at and I'm a billionaire, I'm sorry, but you're on your own now. You're on your own now. You know, these people are trying to kill me. They're nuts. I want to save the country and I want to save you people, but, you know, they're not doing me any favours by saying all these bad things about me, and people want to kill me. That's just crazy. What's the topics besides politics? Well, it shouldn't be politics at all. But the topic was that Trump is pretty much doing what Forrest was telling us about. So he's got, these band of merry men together, and he wants to get people off the gaming machines and into nature and make them healthy and stuff like that, which is what Forrest was talking about. We had this talk about, fly me to the moon. We've got this talk about the $17 a square inch. So, Elon Musk is going to sort out the treasury or whatever job he's going to get, the money. So there are some parallels, that's the word I was looking for, between what Forrest was talking about and what's actually going to be happening in the Trump administration, which I think is quite cool. So that's what it's about, really. This, as soon as the minute the second hand reached 8 o'clock, it was time for bed. And that's because I had an important visitor. And Trump was talking about an important person. So it's almost like Forrest has had a word with Trump and said, look, this is how things should be. I'll just have a word in your ear, like, this is how things should be, Trump. Get them off the gaming machines. Get them out into nature. Get them healthy. Have, respect for the flag. Get the armed forces, the way that it was. Just get America back on top. And he said, the old lady, did he say the old lady, the flag? Would I can't remember how he put it, but basically, always ready. And it doesn't seem that that's the case. especially after the Afghan, withdrawal. It's like, wow, that's, I can't speak. I'm not an American, but it doesn't look good. It doesn't put America in a good light. The loss of life, how they didn't even care. The administration didn't make any effort to, understand the grief of the families. It's just, apart from Trump. And I find it weird that we can all call him Trump or Donald or whatever, and yet, President-elect is his title. He doesn't jump down people's throat when they don't say, President-elect or president when he's president. Who's on the bike? Huh? Going to pay to keep illegals on your bike. What's the top besides? I don't know. Hello, everyone. Hey, Queen, how you doing? Minutes, seconds, someone impotent. Yes, something like that, Alberti. Impotent. Mario has an indictment for free thought in the UK. Yeah, at some point they'll probably come knocking on my door saying, you said all these bad things. It's like, well, since when has the truth been a bad thing to say? But Forrest said, maybe half the truth. You haven't missed anything, Queen. Like I say, you know me, I just talk in riddles. I don't understand what I'm saying, so I don't expect anybody else to understand what I'm saying. I got reprimanded one day for using the word booger. Yes, sir, I can boogie. Oh no, that's not the word you're saying, is it? In the US, we set Glock next to the clock. The Glock next to the clock. Well, even that, she says, she wants a way of taking your guns off you, and then she says, I have a Glock, and if anybody breaks into my house, I'm going to shoot them, or they're going to get shot. It's like, hang on. What, it's okay for you to have it and shoot someone, but you're trying to say that, it's wrong to have those things because people die, and you just admitted that it's there for a reason. It's there to protect myself. Well, isn't that what you're trying to stop other people doing? Crazy, 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 crazy. It keeps away the naughty people. So it's amazing, like, I thought a bugger was when you pick your nose. So it keeps away then. An obese dictator, oh God. An obese dictator saying, get working now, you lazy peasants. 84-hour work weeks, no overtime pay. Who have you been listening to? Like, he says no tax on overtime. That's a lot better than what they were offering. It's no tax for the elderly, a lot better than what they were offering. But she offered cheap diabetic medicine because her mum needs it. Instead of saying, Mum, I'm a millionaire-ess, I'll buy your medicine. Don't worry about it. No, I'm going to make cheap medicine for the whole of the country because my mum needs it. I suppose you look at it both ways. Look what she's done for her mum. Just go and buy her some. Hi, Mario. I'm back. Oh, no, you haven't got an axe, have you? Going through a door like Jack Nicholson. Hi, honey, I'm home. Or Arnold Schwarzenegger. That could be even worse. Those words, our forefathers, all four of them, our forefathers knew how it would get when they... Exactly that, Woody. Well done. Thank you very much. Exactly that. The whole point is they made it the way that it was, the Republic, because it works. However, whoever gave them the information, however they worked it out, I don't know. However, they said to the English, no, go get effed. F yourself. We don't want a king. We don't want this. We don't want that. This is what we want. We want to put these measures in place to protect all the other measures. the House, the Senate, etc. We'll put all that in place so the system can't be corrupted. And then, lo and behold, socialist people come along and they want to corrupt it. But it's been stopped. And hopefully, it won't go to that again. Just my argument was always with politics is there's never one side that's totally correct. There's always, something on one side, something on the other that will work. And lo and behold, you've gone and done it. You've got people from the Democrats and people from the Republicans working together to have a strong country again. I don't see anything wrong with that. So, in my opinion, looking from the outside in, how the heck can you say you have the wrong person in charge when that person has put in power, given them a position of power, people you would have voted in? You're voting in the Democratic Party. Those people were members of that party. And you managed to vote them in as well as voting him and JD Vance in. Like, you got the best of both worlds, in my opinion, from the outside looking in. Like, you actually voted Democrats into the White House by voting Donald Trump in. And you can't argue that. That's just fact. You have Democrats in power right now. Democrats in power right now, including Elon Musk. He was a Democrat. You have Democrats in power, probably more Democrats in power than you have Republicans in the higher levels of power. Donald Trump is not a Republican. He's not a Republican. He's just working for the people based on what's best for the people. He was a Democrat. It's like the way that he thought wasn't a Republican way initially. Elon Musk wasn't Republican. Tulsi Gabbard wasn't Republican. RFK Jr. wasn't Republican. So basically, you voted Democrats into power through the Republican Party, and you're still moaning. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy. You can't see when you're onto a good thing. I just don't get it. I don't get it. Oh, I said something funny. I don't know what it was. Kamala's mother is dead. Oh, sorry, Mr. Brown. Your son is dead. That was the song. Kamala's mother is dead. Well, I don't know which is her mother. She's got so many grandmothers, so many mothers, so many fathers. It's like, which one's, will the real father please stand up? Was he a slave owner? I guess you could say our forefathers had foresight. Yes, you could. You just did. Thomas Jefferson was the genius behind the writing of the Declaration of Independence and America's democracy. That still hasn't happened yet. I thought it was called a republic with democratic tendencies. 248 years of war for independence. Fendi! I have a conservative amount of vehicles. I have one truck. See, even that, Donald Trump says, look, I appreciate that, electric cars, but now's not the time. Like, the world is not ready to produce all them electric cars and all them battery charging stations that need, I don't know, say power to make them all. So it will happen when the world's ready for it to happen. It can't happen otherwise. That'd be like saying to the Stone Age man, yeah, here's a flipping Ferrari, get in that. Donald Trump is a Republican. He is now, just like Tulsi Gabbard and RFK Jr. is. But no, they're not. No, they're not. They go under the title Republican, but their values are still Democrat. Same with Elon Musk. He just chose a party a party that is closer to his values than the party he was in, which was the Democrat Party. So if they're honest, they'll say they're still Democrat. They're not Republican. They're in the Republican Party with democratic principles. That's how I see it anyway. My neighbour has a liberal amount of vehicles, yet he calls himself a conservative. Red and blue, or blue and red, you still get purple. Whole south of the US were Democrats and are now Republicans. Again, they still have the same values. Like, you're voting for the values that you are, just because you change the name of it. That's like saying, I don't know, Walmart used to be called Doo-Doo. It's, you change the name to Walmart, it's still Doo-Doo. You just change the name to Walmart, but it still works the same way that Doo-Doo used to work. Changing the name don't change your values. Like, what if somebody one day came up to you and said, right, we're not going to call it Christianity anymore. We're going to call it angelism. Still a Christian. Still a Christian. You are still a Christian. They just call it angelism now. Still a Christian. I have dozens of trucks, all full of sugar. Honey iced tea. Sugar honey iced tea. The original had signatures all over it. The Declaration of Independence. The Constitution. Which one was it? The fake one or the real one? Baby, beautiful signatures. Most signers were killed by the crash. Don't remind us of those things. I do admire the forefathers. They sacrificed so much. Hey, Rob, how you doing? I'm so glad I won my bet. Was this on, what's it called? What's it called? For those bets on the election. Pro something, I don't know, I can't remember what it is. I was a Democratic and I voted for Reagan. Then I became an independent and now I am a registered Republican. The Democrats have been crooks since they killed Kennedy. Yes, unfortunately. So, yeah, the thing is, it's all around the world now. So those people, I can remember when I first heard about American politics that you had to be rich. You had to be rich to get into politics, like really rich. And we just saw in the last few months that this crazy woman that has no idea of how to run a country could be just placed in power and be given money that she doesn't know how to use and can be used as a puppet because of it. It's just crazy. That is the worst case of sabotaging democracy that I've seen. Like, she's not thinking for herself. She can't think for herself. You should watch the Newcastle. What's he called? Oh, it's so funny. I put it on Facebook. He's so funny. The way he ripped it. Well, basically was looking at Donald Trump and her and just saying like, I don't know. Y'all have fun, you hear that? Thanks and hello, LQ. See you later, Fendi. Thanks for popping in, man. Always good to read you. Bye, Fenny. Oh, he's called you Fenny, not Fendi. Leaving on a jet plane, don't know when I'll be back again. Have a little itty bitty project going. Ooh, like projects. See you later, Fendi, my friend. TTYL or TTYS. Titties. See you, Chuck Chuck. I think everyone's glad to see Fenn when he comes in. The Bushes were crooked warmongers as well. I think they're all crooked. That's the issue. That's like, I don't know. It seems like, I don't know. I just, half the time I don't believe what I'm told by the media because they have given me no reason to believe what they say. None at all. And it's hard to believe that the stuff that you hear is not the truth outside of the media. Mario Kelsey, I bet Trump would win the popular vote and the president. Yes, 100%. See, those sort of things, you would imagine that anybody who was a Democrat that saw he won the popular vote, that even bothered to look at his acceptance speech or whatever, declaration speech, or whatever it's called, that he won, would go, hang on a minute, this bloke's not a fascist. Like, he basically said, the reason this happened is because of everybody else except for me. It's pretty much what he was saying. And he's telling people who helped him get to that point, come up and say a few words. It's like, doesn't sound like a dictator to me. Doesn't sound like a fascist to me. Praised his family, praised his wife, said that she had the #1 selling book, etc., etc., etc. That doesn't sound like a fascist. Said that he would sweat, however he said it, but, to the ends of the earth, he would go to make sure that he kept his promises to the American people. And he said, what did he say? Oh, it's such a good thing to say, I can't remember it. Basically, if you make a promise, keep it. Those are the things he goes by. Make a promise, keep it. Doesn't sound like a dictator to me. Not in the slightest. I doubt she knows how to put socks on. Uh-oh, retracted. I wager only $50. What's it called? Something market when they're putting bets on. The Clintons were all about drugs and guns and kids like LBJ. Well, there's somebody else who's all about drugs. Like, that's her cocaine. 100% that's her cocaine. And she has been using that for years. I would say since she was an attorney general in California. If you listen to the way she talks when she was an attorney general in California and the way she talks now, her nasal tone has gone. It's a lot higher now. Look at the movie American Made. Watergate Conspiracy. So, try and get back to Forrest Fenn. Keep luring me down the evil path of politics. What was the aim? Was the aim to find a chest? Was the aim to find a trove? Or was the aim to find Forrest Fenn? Who is the real Forrest Fenn? Hoping nobody would ever find out. If I told you where it was, I'd have to kill you, etc., etc., etc. And then we have, out of nowhere, another hunt. And in this hunt, there are the chests that are missing, that belong to the keys, maybe, that Forrest Fenn had. So what is in the chest? And this is the important bit, how do you know which is the first chest to be found? So you can't say that the first chest has been found unless you know what the first chest is and where it was found. Because any one of those 5 chests are anywhere in the United States of America. Therefore, it had to be found where it was found, and it had to be found first. For it to be the first chest. Just like to find the second chest, you'd have to know about the second chest and where that was found. And for it to be found second, for it to be called the second chest. So where do you get the information from to find anything? So you're told the information you need to find the chests are in the book. You only need the book. And I know what people are going to do already. They're going to start using all the other information that they've got to get answers. But if there's one thing we've learned from the Forrest Fenn for the Chase is believe the person that set it up. Like, listen to that person. If they say you only need the book, then you only need the book. If they say pay close attention to detail, then pay close attention to detail, which is not much different than follow the 9 clues precisely, like be precise. So if it's not possible to hide it in the same place because no one's ever going to find it there, how does that work? Or is it possible to hide it in the same place? And David Paisano was saying, well, I have the white mark and this, that, and the other, and is it there now or was it not there before? You'd be foolish not to look, wouldn't you? So why is it that I must go? Because somebody else was coming. And leave my trove for all to seek after the chest has been found. The answers or answer I already know. So what is the old and new? New. Money. Hint of which is new and old. What are riches new and old? Is it treasure? Do you have, and you obviously do, but do you have a treasure that was 700 years old and a treasure that is 5 years old? Of course you do. So there are a few new and old that you could work out. Like, I suppose salt was a treasure at one point. That would be old treasure. So minerals of a certain type. I wonder why the ID card was in the front of the book. I wonder why it was a picture of a young Forrest Fenn. I wonder if he could use that ID card to vote. In today's world, Gay Barry Himward was related to the Bushes. I don't know who Barry is. Go, Barry, go. The where is still a mystery, isn't it? I don't think it was a mystery. It's a mystery. Oh, it's a mystery. It scared me so bad I was jarred awake and I didn't know if I found the treasure or not on Gardener's Island. Yes, it scared me. Not scarred. I was once not born. I was born under a wandering star. I was once asked what starts with a C and ends in N. I said, no, it doesn't. starts with a C and oh no, it doesn't. It starts with a W and ends with a T. Love it. I was what starts with a T? No, what starts with a C and ends with an N? I'm gonna eat chicken nuggets and noodles. Oh, can't you have chicken noodles and nuggets? Wouldn't that be better? Oh, it's crazy. Alberti, the answer is where he put it. Oh, that was for the where. The where is still a mystery. Tell me where it is. I'll get it for you. If you have a disability, well, disability is I can't get it. You and old is your underwear drawer. No, that's just old. There's no new there. I'm about to go eat with Trusted. Be back in few. Well, it's a good job you're not going to eat Trusted. I found a treasure that is priceless. Thank you, Forrest Fenn. Woo! Yeah, I think I found quite a few things that aren't exactly material. I wasn't, too grateful at the time, but I come to realise that it meant more than I thought at that point. Davy B gets the cup. Whee! Hey, Steve, better stock up as super inflation is coming and will be. No, it's not. As an indicator of a good economy. But the only reason the stocks are doing well is because they knew Trump was going to get voted in. It's got nothing to do with Kamala Harris and Biden. It's to do with the fact that they knew it was going to be Trump, and they'll go up even more now that know that he's won. Once they start fracking, and obviously not going to happen overnight, but once prices come down and they can expand, what it is they're trying to achieve. So it's going to take a while before it all kicks in. But what you need to get used to is 4 years is not a lot of time to turn around what's happened now. But by the time it settles down, it's either carry on with what's made it successful or screw it all over again. And it's supposed to be that, Donald Trump is the last president. So what will happen if that is the case? How will that work? There's a book out there called Baron Trump, 1896. It was wrote. Maybe read it, see what it says. It's interesting. Spaghetti trees are the go. No such thing as a spaghetti tree. I own cow trees. I own symmetries. I can remember they did an April Fool's with a spaghetti tree once. That was funny. That was really funny. That was. I think they did it on the BBC. I can't remember if it was the BBC or not. But they did a whole program about spaghetti trees for an April Fool's. It's funny. Yeah, he did like an interview type of thing. Her father, supposedly. But that's where she got all her values from. Her Marxist leanings can be unburdened by what has been. It's like, well, you didn't really get that from a Marxist book, did you? Her mum got hired by the English to work on MK Ultra. Ooh. Ooh, that's scary. They used to call me Kellogg's Trusted. I ate so much cornflakes. Milk has to be ice cold and a banana or sultanas. Tigger chicken spaghetti yum. Oh, nice. I think I'm going to go because Mr. Ben is going to be live, and I don't want to tread on his toes. Mr. Ben, that was a program, wasn't it? Does anybody remember that, Mr. Ben? Cartoon. Used to walk through that tailor shop or whatever it was. I own pine trees, fir trees, and some red oak. Oh, that reminds me of sequoias. That was a solve as well. Forgot about that. The giant sequoia tree that lives for hundreds and hundreds of years. Because people were saying trees don't live for hundreds, they won't be around for hundreds and hundreds of years, and yet, yes, they do. Yes, they do. There's an olive tree that's like 400 years old or something. Can't remember. And there's a tree in California. Actually, there's a hole in California as well. How deep is a hole? The Last President chapter. Bye, everyone. I didn't know everyone was in chat. Hello, everyone. How are you? See you later, MJ. Trusted living. Put sugar on it, and a person could eat corn stalks. Right. Not even a corn stalk. A stalk of corn. Oh, that's making me hungry. Trusted. I'm thinking of corn on the cob now, with butter and salt. Oh, there's nothing better than corn on the cob with some butter and salt. Nothing. Apart from get stuck. Get bloody stuck. Try and get it out of your teeth. So I thank everybody for popping in. I think I've said the what if that I was going to say. So it's important to know what's worth knowing and what isn't. So we're in that moment of healing now, and the can we all get along and get kids out of the gaming room and into nature and make them healthy and those sort of things that Forrest said. We've got Elon going to the moon and the money. Bit by bit, you can sort it. Have a fat lady that hasn't sung but could sing. Have 5 chests and contentment. Life is a game of poker. Fate deals you 4 cards and a joker. And we play whether we like it or not. Mr. Bean! Corn cob, butter, and cracked black pepper. Oh, that's it. I might have to go. Might have to go to the 24-hour shop and buy some. Well, I don't think I'll do that now. It's quite early actually. It's only 10 to 12. Bristlecone pie. That rings a bell. Why am I remembering that? Bristlecone pie. Oh, there was even a solve with EAD. Was it EAD beetles? What are they called, those beetles? God, that was one of the first ones. Well, not the first ones, but what are they called? Them beetles. Them pine beetles. Someone will know. Someone will know about them. I'm sure they were beetles. Oh, it's weird the amount of souls that absolutely makes sense. So in Montana, in this little stream, there are these brown, I can't remember what they're called. That was long ago as well. These brown something or others. And only in that stream. That was in Montana. I can't remember if that was the same one that took me to Churn, Flux, and the Red Eye Bank. Not the Red Eye, like eye, the eye. Whatever the bank was called, can't remember that either. And there was a youth hostel there, and I think I was adamant that was it because Forrest talked about a youth hostel and talked about the redneck and blah blah blah. I can't remember what that was. So churn, sure one was churn, one was flux, and then the Homer Brown was a stream on the right of them. And it's sort of like a mountain thing. Is it a mountain thing? I can't believe how many souls I did. I'm afraid that the deranged will bring another virus out. Much worse, though. Well, it's supposed to be the monkeypox thing, weren't it? After that. Weevils wobble, but they don't fall down. Is that the insects? No, I don't think it's weevils. I think it began with an E. E-A something or other. I think they were pine beetles type things. Can't remember. Anyway, I decided that those solves that I did were all wrong. If I'm talking about solve, it's because I did it and then went, no, Forrest never said that, so it can't be that. I ended up in a place called Eden. I think that was Montana as well. The highway one. Ended up in Montana right at the top. Forrest Fenn Road or something like that. I can't remember that either. Montana with the Blackfoot. That was up that same place. Montana with the dog that waited for his master at the docks. Is it docks? Something like that. Some crazy souls I had. They all made sense until they didn't. Mad politician disease, Tigger. Tigger, we will be okay. Well, I'm glad Jeff knows. I know a doctor. Well, find the doctor, find the treasure. It's all good. I know a doctor. You're supposed to say who? And I go, yeah. And you're like, what? That's his name. Who? Doctor Who. Doctor Who. Doctor Who. Uncle. Later, folks. I've got to skedaddle. Yes, I'm skedaddling as well because Ben is going live in not many minutes. I may stay and just say hi to him and then find my way to my bed. Put my stuff under my bed for 30 days. Doing chat calls now. Are they like bird calls, but for something called a chat? Or, what's that word that Ashley used the other day? DoorDash. Are they DoorDash calls? Oh, Tigger's a bit like stunned. I don't know why she's stunned. Star, that's what they wanted. How you doing? Night all. Whatever you do, have fun. Yes, you don't have to go home, but you have to get the flock out of here. And Elon Musk is now in charge of the budget, and Bill Gates is in charge of insect protein bars. Yes, that's what I was talking about, Trusted, that he's got the $17 a square inch issue. Bless you. So not only does he go to the moon and back, but he's, dabbling in a bit of money. Dabbly. To you, sir, Mr. Star. Quack, quack. Calling all ducks. There once was an ugly duckling with feathers all shabby and brown. Thanks for the show. It is a pleasure. Thank you very much for being here, Money. Davy B, sun is a little brighter today. Sun? Is that Chinese bloke? Was he not very smart the other day? I love taking the mickey out of the English words. It's like, what? What does that mean? Like, people look at me and go, what are you talking about? Well, brighter is smart. Smarter. And sun is a Chinese name. Or Vietnamese or any of those areas. Have you ever tried bull milk? Trusted, have you ever tried bull milk? Bull milk? That doesn't even sound real. Quackity quack McDuck. McDuffie. And shine it will. It had to make the house sparkle. Oh, that's Mr. Sheen. Did you used to have that? I can't remember the song that goes with that now. That's Spray Polish, Mr. Sheen. What did I miss? I don't know. What did you use? A crossbow or a Smith and Wesson? Probably bullseye. I don't know. No, you don't miss anything. So basically, I talked about the important man. The second the minute hand reached 8 o'clock, it was time for bed. June never got paddled. Skippy was turning alpha. Trump was talking to an important man, which is basically, if you listen to what Forrest Fenn said, Trump is doing those sort of things. He has someone on board who's going to make everyone healthy, which is basically what Forrest said. Get them off the gaming machines and get them out into the nature and make us a healthy nation. What else? What else? What else? We got Elon, doing the $17 a square inch scenario, working out the money, sorting it out bit by bit, I hope. And then what else? What else? I can't remember half the stuff. But, the thrill of the chase, this is Donald Trump's thrill of the chase. So he will aim to achieve whatever it is that, his administration can. And it took 4 years, which is pretty much, what we had from 2020 to now. 4 years. And he's got 4 years to enjoy his thrill of the chase. The 13-minute mark. What's the 13-minute? Mario, come back later. Come back, my love. Do, do, do. Come back later? Later than what? Hey, Steve, Trump says it's delish from the tap. Don't know what that is. Oh, delish. It's delish from the tap. More chins than Chinese phone book. Chinese, more Chinese. Chinese, Chinese. More Chinese. Rudy Giuliani wants Secretary of State. Why does he like her? Is she a nice one? Sorry. I just get tempted with all the way these words sound. They don't sound what you think they sound like. Or I make them sound like what they don't sound like. So he wants the Secretary of State, or does he want to be Secretary of State? Well, he talked about the Secretary as well, didn't he? Because she had the Rolodex, which is a very important statement that Forrest had the ability to know all these people. And it made it look like he was, I don't know if it's smart or very, had a good memory. But he made it seem that way. Because he had a Rolodex. Tigger, Rudy needs a break because he's playing snooker. Is that Rudy Green or Rudy Giuliani? I think he would be great. Yeah, so these Democrats, I don't know. I don't know what goes through their head. Like, they obviously know they're lying when they say these horrible things. Well, I would assume they do, but I don't know. I don't know why they have to lie. I don't know why they have to lie. I don't know how they think they can get away with it, because they don't really get away with it, and yet they do, because people vote based on the bull that they put out. And then they reiterate and copy the same bull when somebody asks them a question. They say, yeah, it's because of this, this, and this. And it's like, no, it's not. You're just saying that because so-and-so said it off, The View. In the Trump administration, all seats are for sale. No. I have a request. Can the health minister at least be a healthy specimen? Yeah, I think he is, though, isn't he? You can't say that he doesn't look like he works out, Mr. RFK Jr., he definitely looks like, he looks after himself. Not, Donald Trump doesn't look after himself in the same manner. So it may be that we see a thinner, fitter Donald Trump in the coming months if RFK Jr. has his way, because how is he supposed to sell the idea of, being fit if the person he's working for won't even do it himself? So if I was RFK Jr., I'd be saying, Donald, you need to do me a favour. You need to get yourself into shape. So when I'm preaching to the nation, then I go, well, you can't even get him fit. Yes, but I worry about his health. And you firearm directed them to at least be able to handle a rifle. What, like Tim Walls? I can't. I go around shooting all the time, but I can't use this shotgun. Yeah, okay, Tim Walls. Yes. You were in the. What was he in? Was he in the Navy? I can't remember what he was in. Was he in the Army? Can't remember. But it's like you would expect him to be able to handle a shotgun, at least. He's like, I can't do it. I can't do it. The health minister should not be a fat tranny. Let's agree on that. Yes, but no, it should not be. But I do believe that, like, Tulsi looks like she looks after herself. RFK looks like he looks after himself. Vivek looks like he looks after himself. JD Vance looks like he looks after himself. Who else is there? Donald doesn't look like he looks after himself. Tucker, looks like he used to. I don't know if he still does. He might have given up now. Anyway, I need to go. I'm going to nip over to Ben's show for a little while. I won't stay though because I'm not a DB Cooper fan. I think Forrest was, planting the seeds of, what's good to do the things that's attributed to small bits of information about certain things, and could have wrote the book, could have hid a treasure, could have been a precursor to half of the treasure hunts that are around the world, for all we know. But whether it's Ben who? Ben Kneppel. No, that's the Doctor Who, not the Ben Who. Tulsi's, yeah, she is Army. Well, was Army, is Army. And she is same as RFK Jr. Like, literally so caring for the people and the country that it's crazy. And like I said, I'm 100% sure if I ever meet Donald Trump, I doubt it, but if I ever met him, I say, Donald, would you have run if Tulsi Gabbard and RFK Jr. were the Democratic nominees running for president? And I bet he'd say no, because he wouldn't need to. Absolutely no need to run if they were the leaders of the Democratic Party. And I 100% believe that they should strip the Democratic Party right down to the bare bones and start again, and just not have those crazy people in there. They can have them in there, but they need to be vetted and just not be given it shouldn't be run the way that it's run. I know Forrest says, half the truth, etc., but they're just blatant lies. Good night, Steve. Your glasses fit perfectly round your. Oh, thank you very much. You're a very nice man. I've got a whole set of glasses. He says they're all different. So those. And half the time, I end up I can't see nothing. So, but these are the best ones. You know that mask that you get with the glasses and attached. That's this. I think that's where they got it from. Good morning, good morning. It's great to stay up late. Good morning to you. Thanks, Jeff. Thanks, everybody. Take care. Let's go and see what Ben has to say. And probably Alan Kelly, if it's to do with DB Cooper. I recommend you go and see. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for the 19 people here. Excuse me. I reckon you should go and see Troy's video about Dave Brandon, Dave someone, and his Mr. Biden. It's funny, very funny. Thank you very much. Take care, everyone. Ciao for now. Probably see you on the Ben show and Ashley show. Take care.